In today's video, I'm at the Winnebago Factory Service Center to get some of the warranty items I mentioned in a previous video worked on. So let's go. What is going on, YouTube? I am in freezing cold Forest City, Iowa. I mean, it's freezing. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 30 degrees. But I'm at the Winnebago Service Center to get the warranty work done on my van. So what I'm gonna do first is take my motorcycle off the back of my rig, and then we'll go inside and we'll do a recap of the warranty issues I had, and then I added a couple more warranty issues to get worked on. So let's go get my bike off the rack and my rig plugged in here. So one thing I always make sure I do when I have my bike up here is I have this little safety line up here. So it keeps my bike from falling over. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. The YouTube algorithm will show this video to more people the more thumbs up and the more comments I have. So I appreciate you doing that. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. All right, so I finally got myself all set up. That took a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take. Here at the Winnebago Service Center, they actually have a little campground next to the service center, so you can camp here and stay overnight. There's 2 ways to have an appointment here. You can schedule an appointment like I did. I made it 6 weeks out in advance. It was the first one available. Or you can just show up and get put on a wait list, but you can stay in this little campsite, and that's how most of the people that are here, that's how they're getting their service work done. They just showed up and got on a wait list. The reason I'm here is to get some warranty work done. If you remember, a few videos back, I made a video called Travato Buyer's Remorse, where I talked about some of the issues I was having with my Travato. Well, I'm here to get those fixed under warranty. I'll go over the warranty issues really quick. The main ones are actually back here in the bathroom, the ones that bother me the most. The first one is this mirror here, this medicine cabinet. The hinges are broke. And I'm actually surprised this thing has stayed up. I tried to fix it myself, but I couldn't get it to work. And I was coming here to get other warranty work done anyway, so I figured I would just have that done as well. The next is another hinge issue. The hinges in this Travato, some of them are really cheap. It's falling apart, and it kind of sucks because I actually used this sink the most before it broke. There are 2 sinks in this Travato, one in the front, and that empties into the gray tank. And then one in the back, the one that's broke, that one empties into the black tank. And I really like that because I can make a decision on which sink to use based on how full my black tank or gray tank is. And now I don't really have that option, so that kind of sucks. All right, the next one is kind of cosmetic. You can see this bug screen is hooked on the ceiling with snaps. The ceiling is supposed to be up here, but it's pulling it down. It doesn't look too bad on this side, but from the outside it looks really bad. You can actually see some writing up here from the guys who were building the rig out or whatever. It just looks really bad. And then down here, one of these snaps has broken, so hopefully they can get that fixed. Over here, this window, actually it's kind of working now, but it still gets stuck sometimes. So I want to make sure that gets fixed because at some point it's going to break completely. Although right now it's working. All right, next is this Jensen stereo, and this thing is just terrible. It doesn't work 90% of the time, and I've pretty much blown all the speakers that you see here, which is kind of crazy because this thing doesn't even go that loud. So hopefully I can get that issue resolved. Although to be completely honest with you, I'm probably going to replace that with something better at some point. Jensen doesn't really make good products, so that's probably the reason that the thing sucks. All right, so the next 2 items are things I didn't talk about in the last video, they're things that are broken since then. All right, so the first one outside is a step, and underneath that step is a row of lights. And I actually really like that row of lights. I have them on all the time. Well, they quit working. I don't know if they burnt out or something happened to one of the wires, but it quit working about a week ago. So I had that added to the list, and hopefully they can fix that because I really love that light. And the last one is this accordion thing right here that you pull up. It's a blackout shade. I actually have an aftermarket one right here because the accordion one broke, but hopefully I can get that fixed as well. It also has a safety mechanism that if you leave the little arms up, it'll make a loud buzz sound to let you know that they're up. Because if they're up and your airbag deploys, it can be dangerous. It can interfere with your airbag. The issue I was having was even when I had the arms down and in a safe position, the buzzer would still go off. Sometimes I would shake it and I could get the buzzer to go off. Sometimes the buzzer would just go off the whole time I was driving, sometimes hours. And it was super annoying. So eventually I found where the wire was and I just disconnected it. But I'd like to get that fixed because, I mean, I think it's important to have that safety feature. All right, so it's kind of late here, so I'm gonna go to sleep. And tomorrow when I wake up, I'm gonna drop off my rig with Winnebago and hopefully they fix all those warranty issues. All right, so day one at the service center, they only got a couple things completed. I thought they were gonna get all of it completed, but they only got 2 things completed. The first is the most important, and I didn't mention it earlier, but it was my Volta box. So underneath here, you'll see this box, and I had cracked it really bad, and that's where the most valuable part of this rig is, the Volta batteries. So now it looks like it's fixed. They put some kind of tar stuff on there too, some kind of rubbery tar stuff that wasn't on there before, and then did some more insulation, which I actually really appreciate. And then they fixed the lights underneath here. Let's see, I don't know if you can see them since it's still daylight out, but oh yeah, you can see them. So they fixed those lights, those work again, which is great because I use them all the time. So tomorrow they're gonna work on more of the stuff in the inside. So tomorrow again at the service center. So see you tomorrow. Okay, so day 2 is in the books. A lot of things got done today, but they still have a few more things to take care of. But I'll show you what they did today. So one of my biggest issues was my bathroom was falling apart. So they fixed the mirror. They reinforced these screws, so hopefully these will be good to go now, and I'll have a medicine cabinet again. They also fixed the hinge on the sink, although it's the same hinge as before, so I'm a little worried it might not hold up. And then this area, if you remember, the ceiling was being pulled down by this bug screen. And come to find out, there was actually a piece missing. Whoever assembled this RV forgot to put a piece in. So that's a little bit annoying. Somebody should have caught that. But the tech that worked on my vehicle went ahead and put a board hooked onto the frame of my van and then screwed in that ceiling part. So I shouldn't have that issue again, which is good. And finally, they fixed the little button down there, which wasn't a big deal. I also added a couple things to the list today. I added an oil change and a tire rotation, which they took care of, and I needed to do anyway. I just realized today, though, that I have a little bit over 12,000 miles on this rig, actually almost 13,000. So I'm only 2,000 miles away from being out of warranty on stuff like this. I didn't even realize that. So that's stuff you want to pay attention to. When I leave here, I probably will not be able to come back for minor things under warranty. So just be aware of that. I keep saying I'm going to show you this campground. So let me do this while it's still light out here. It's kind of cold, so I'm going to be freezing, but let's head outside here real quick. Whew. All right. So for all my complaints about Winnebago, they do try to take care of their customers, and one of the things they offer is a place to camp. So right over there behind me is the service center where I'm having my work done. I have to show up at 7 in the morning, and over here You can see there's a Class C, there's a Class A, there's actually a bunch of Class A's, C's, and B's over there. They offer this camping, and it has hookups. Well, not all hookups, but at least electric, which is great because it's freezing here. So there's a 30 and a 50 amp box here, 30, 50, and 20 amp box here. It's nice not to have to rent a hotel. The way it works, they get your RV in the morning at 7, and then they give it back to you at the end of the day around 3 o'clock. So you don't need to get a hotel room or anything like that. You can just camp in your rig and then take it over early in the morning, the next morning. Doesn't have to stay overnight, which is really great actually. All right, I'll give you an update on day 3 tomorrow. Hopefully everything's fixed and I can hit the road and go somewhere warmer. So welcome back, not a day later, but a week later. The reason I'm doing this update a week later is I wanted a little time to spend with the repairs to see how they would hold up. And so far, so good. But let me give you a little recap of day 3. So they had 2 things to fix: my Jensen stereo and that front window shade. So if you remember, I really don't like this Jensen stereo, and come to find out, the one I had in here was overheating a lot. So what they did was they replaced it. And so far so good. This Jensen hasn't been overheating on me, but we'll see how it holds up. Also, my outdoor speakers work now, which is great. They went through and replaced all the speakers that I had blown, and so now I have a full audio setup in here, which has been pretty nice. Okay, so the last repair, and probably most important with the exception of my Volta box, was this front privacy screen. Getting that fixed. So let me show you here real quick. All right, so this thing was falling apart on me, and it works again, which is great. It's so convenient. Let me show you here. So you've probably seen this in past videos I've done. But these arms come up. And then this accordion screen comes up. It was so loose before that it wouldn't stay up without me doing some work to it and rigging it. Now it stays up. It's nice and tight. It provides privacy, and it's just so convenient. Another thing is they fixed the safety feature on it. So as I mentioned before, when the arms are up, it beeps because the arms can block the airbag, and obviously that's dangerous. But even when I had it down, it would beep, and it was driving me nuts, so I unhooked the wire that caused it to beep. So they've fixed that now, and if I lower the brake, you get this bell that's telling me that these bars are up. When I take the bars down, the bell stops. Before, they weren't stopping. Now they stop, which is great, and so it all works. So I'm happy. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the whole experience and what I think about Winnebago's service center in general. To be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised how great the whole experience was from the moment I arrived until they had me sign off on the work they did. I already showed you the campground. That's a great little benefit that Winnebago provides to people that use the Winnebago service center. And once the service appointment started, the customer service was phenomenal. From the customer service desk to the tech that was assigned to me, everyone I interacted with was very professional, knowledgeable, and very, very, very helpful. Winnebago really goes out of their way to make sure you're comfortable during the experience as well. Not only do they have the campground that you can camp in overnight, they don't keep your vehicle, but they also have a little lounge that's socially distanced that has internet, and you can just hang out there all day. It was really, really cold in Forest City, Iowa, so I was really glad to have that option. Their concern for safety during COVID also really stood out to me. I've been to a lot of different places, and I've never seen someone take it as seriously as Winnebago does. From the moment you walk in, you get your temperature checked, you get a little wristband that says you got your temperature checked, and then you have to be socially distanced. You have to wear your mask anytime you're in the service center, even when you're in the lounge area, which is great. They also have someone that comes around with a little sprayer about every hour or two to make sure the area is sanitized. They also sanitize the restrooms constantly. So I was really impressed with their concern for safety of not only the employees there, but also the people who were waiting for the rigs. So while I wasn't happy that I had all these little minor issues that required me to get fixed, I'm really happy with the results. It's like I got a new rig again, everything works, everything functions how it's supposed to be, and the experience getting the warranty work done was really pleasant. So if you enjoyed this update or you have any feedback, make sure you comment below. Like I always say, I answer every single comment, and hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed and you enjoy van life, RV living type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I put out videos every single week. Thanks for watching.